have a great studio audience today, don't we?
I know. That was really lovely of them.
I know. Well, as you can see, you're once again at the Cherie and Yolanda show.
This is Cherie.
And this is Yolanda. Very nice. Very
Thank you. I know. I got these.
They're very colorful.
They are. Like Mardi Gras beads, but like big Mardi Gras beads. Love them.
They are big. They are big. Like
Just like
so
my
many other
head.
things about you. Big. Well, we have a great show lined up tonight.
Yes, we do.
Don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Anthony Pollina is with us. He's a progressive candidate for governor. We have members of the UVM National Coming Out Day Committee here to talk about events happening at the university. And who knows what else will happen.
Yeah, we've got another really good video, too. And
Oh, yes,
this
we have a
time,
music
no
video.
Nudity.
No nudity?
This time, no.
And why should I even bother watching? We try to please everybody.
It's true. Lordy,
We do. I guess there were a couple of complaints.
I guess there were. Listen,
but,
gang, we warned you 3 times last time.
We did.
That there was going to be nudity. I mean, like, why are you going to complain if you sit there and watch it? You know, it's just so weird. I
I
don't
wonder if they
understand.
complain about other shows like NYPD Blue and things like that.
I know. I've seen nudity on primetime television. Come on. This is the 21st century. We have bodies. Men have dicks, okay? You know, like,
Thank goodness they do. Oh my God. I can't imagine a world without that. It would be horrible. That would be hell. That would be hell.
That's what hell is.
That's what hell is. Place
It's
where
a
the
world
men,
with no genitalia.
Yeah, a place where the men have no dicks. Oh my God. That's just too scary.
That was funny, actually.
All I can say is thank God that men have their equipment that make them men.
Well, sure, you know, and the same goes for women. We all have equipment, okay?
We do.
It's human
Of course,
nature.
my equipment can be taken off.
That's true. Say.
Yeah. Oh my God, nudity on television.
Oops.
Put that back in and cover it up. Shame on you. What kind of show do you think this is?
I don't know. What kind of show do you think
Actually, I
this
think we're
is?
just trying to boost our ratings. Or something.
Something like
Either
that.
that or we're just checking to make sure you had batteries in your remote control because you couldn't turn your TV off.
Right, exactly. That cracks me up too, right?
Yes.
So, like, you know, you're sitting there and you, like, really hate us and everything, and you think we're, like, perverted and all this kind of stuff. But you can't, like, turn the button on the remote control. You can't, like, push a button. You know, it's hilarious.
I turn Pat Robertson off all the time.
I do, too. He's a freak.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. He is a big freak.
Well,
Big
I know.
freak.
Come on, you know.
But we're not. We're fabulous, and we're here with our terrific show.
Indeed.
But before we get to the show, we're in our 5th year, but before we get to our show, we have to update you on what's been happening.
A lot has been happening.
What has been happening?
Oh, my God.
Why don't we start with you?
Excuse me, I'm coughing.
Do you want to
because-
start with me then?
Go ahead, go ahead.
If you're coughing, I guess I'll start then.
All right,
Okay.
I'll cough then.
Okay, now I'll start. First of all,
You were in a fabulous
I
show.
was in a fabulous show at 135 Pearl. It was called See You Later, for Civil Union Later, and this is a little program
Funny.
which they put out. It's a wonderful little cabaret review presented by the House of LeMay with Cherie Tartt making a guest appearance.
Of course.
And it was very funny.
That's what I
It's
heard.
a humorous cabaret review about what's going on, so it's mostly about the election.
Yeah.
Some very funny songs, you know. We have someone who comes out as Governor Dean and sings a song, and someone comes out as Ruth Dwyer and sings a
Oh,
song.
God, what did they sing?
Oh, well. You can imagine what she sings. But it was, as it says here, illegitimately conceived, loosely written, and misdirected by Bob Boyard, who is sometimes known as Amber LeMay.
Oh, her.
Sometimes known as Amber LeMay. And it was this past September 29th and 30th. It's also going to be October 13th and 14th
Oh, really?
at 9 p.m.
Oh, that's great.
So you'll have another weekend to check out this fabulous show.
See you.
We had a lot of people there Saturday night. It was
That's
really
great.
fun.
That is so great.
Really
Did you
fun.
you videoed it, right?
Yes, it was videotape, and we
You're going to show a clip?
don't have a clip today, though. They did
Bit
get to
later.
me in time, but we
Later.
will show a clip on a later show.
I can't wait. I was lying on the couch sick.
I know. Too bad you couldn't be there.
I know.
Oh,
I'll come, though.
I felt so sorry for you.
Thank
It's so
you.
funny.
Thank you.
But the tape will cheer you up. And then, of course, something always cheers me up, and I know it'll cheer you up, too. It
Okay.
And I called you and told you, but you
That's
were
right.
too sick to get out of bed and get the paper. In News Weekly, the gay and lesbian paper for New England,
Dun,
published
dun, dun,
in
dun.
Boston, has an article about us.
Yay!
Queer TV takes to Vermont airwaves. Can we see this? Fabulous, fabulous article with a big picture of the two of us.
Oh, I love that picture.
There we go. Isn't it a nice picture?
Can y'all see that?
Anyway, it goes on and on about the two shows here in Vermont. There's our show, which is very fabulous. And there's this other show, which I've only seen once, called The Rainbow Connection. But since we've never been on their show, I don't watch it.
Now. Wow.
Well, I forget when it's on.
Cherry.
I didn't look for. I looked to see if we're in the TV listings, and then I stopped looking. And then it's like,
That's really
but
nice.
anyway, it's a lot of good
News
press.
Weekly. Is
And
it out now? Is it on
that's-
stands now?
It is on stands right now. Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
And it was very exciting. A nice little blurb about us, and of course we're, getting known around New England.
Yay.
Yes, because we were both in Portland, and you
That's
went back
right.
to Portland, and you've been to Boston, and something's coming up for you in New York City.
Yes, I'm so excited. I hope I'll have to take my cough medicine with me, but anyway. Dun, da, da, da. Where are we going? This is like a little zoom in. Can't really see it very well, but anyway. At the Pyramid. Oh, you can see. See right there at
Yeah,
the Pyramid
it's
Club. Every Saturday.
In October.
In October.
What is that?
I don't know. It's kind of twisted.
Doors
up
open
there.
at 10:30 p.m. Showtime at 11. Pyramid, 101 Avenue A.
In New York City. I'm so excited.
Way over, way on the East Village to Alphabet City side.
Yeah.
Way over there.
Yeah.
It's like nothing but warehouses around there.
Well, yeah. Now it's more gentrified. When I used to live over there, it was very it was kind of edgy, and now right next door actually to the Pyramid, there's a white tablecloth restaurant. So it's not quite as edgy anymore. But
Well, that's
that
so fun.
actually is the club where RuPaul got started,
Uh-huh.
and Lady Bunny and all those people way back when.
And I've seen Coco Peru there.
Oh yeah, you said you saw Coco Peru there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so, I'd really love it. I don't know if people from Burlington can come or anything, but, excuse me, we're going to be there on Halloween weekend, which is October 28th, and so I don't know, if you want to have a big Halloween festivity, it would be totally fun. Let me
Would be.
know, and maybe we can charter a bus or something and all go down together.
Wouldn't that be fun? Kind of like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, just a big bustle full of people coming down. That would be great.
Well,
Especially Halloween.
I know, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
because actually this, it would be a great weekend to go visit New York City anyway. I mean, that's going to be a really, really fun weekend. So I'm excited about playing there,
Oh, yeah.
this month. And it's been really cool because actually when we played at CBGB's a few weeks ago, people from Burlington did come, and I want to thank you very, very much. Mwah, you know who you are, and I love you. And I'm sorry for coughing, but anyway. So if you're going to come back, let me know. Please get in touch with me, and we'll see what we can do. Have a party, have some fun.
Why not? Why not? And you were just back from a music festival in Tennessee.
Oh yeah, that's how I caught this cold. It was great though. It was fun. We went to Idapalooza, which is this music festival at a queer commune called Idle Dandy Acres out in Tennessee. It's about 45 minutes north of Nashville, and it's like in this little valley out the end of a dirt road, and everything. It was totally fun, and a whole bunch of performers from the Southeast came. I met a whole bunch of queer performers that I'd heard a lot about. It was awesome. Actually, there was a lot of people there from Atlanta, and it was pretty amazing. And then me and my friend that traveled down with me went to Nashville and did the did the seedy, nasty, dirty underbelly of Nashville late at night, like about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning one night. We went.
Do you have video? No video?
We should have.
Yeah.
Oh, you should see those drag queens stand there. Oh my God. Crazy, crazy. You think we're crazy. You think the LeMays are crazy. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Insane. Like this one Scotch swilling, cigarette smoking drag queen with like, dear boys. Oh, he was so funny. I just about died. It was really fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I missed it.
I'm just we should go to Tennessee together.
To go there.
We'll have fun.
Yeah.
We'll have fun. Nashville's a big city now.
Is it
It's
a big city?
Woo! Mm-hmm. Big buildings like that.
Well, then there's room for our hair.
Exactly.
Big building. Well, that's great.
It has been great. It's been really cool. And so then, anyway, but it was raining a lot, and I was camping out, and so I caught a cold, and I came back and been laying on my couch, and kind of only waking up to sort of listen to the radio and hear the political debates and everything. And then my friend Stephen, who lives out in Huntington, wrote a letter to the editor in the Huntington paper, and I wanted to share it with you guys because it's really great. It really just is well worded, and it has a lot to do with what's going on out in Huntington. Remember that guy that
Oh, yeah.
I was telling you about? Excuse me, I'm dying. Joe King. Anyway, he's the one that started with all this Take Back Vermont stuff.
Oh, right.
Out there. He had that sign painted that said, Howard Dean wants to, our anus governor, you know, like all this stuff about anuses. He's really focused. He uses the word anus a lot.
Really?
So, yeah. So.
I don't use that word a lot.
I don't either. Excuse me, but
Maybe
lately.
we should see a psychiatrist.
I think he should. There's something going on there.
Yeah.
But lately he added to his sign, right?
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He he cut out this big figure of a man, you can tell it's a man, in a pink tutu, right? And he's diving head first into a toilet, right? Okay? And so the sign under that says something like, you know, Vermont is going to the toilet with all these anus lovers. Again, he uses the word anus, right? So anyway, Stephen wrote a letter, and I just thought it was really great. So I'm going to share just a little bit of it with you. And this is, anyway, here it goes. This summer I watched in horror as several of you posted Take Back Vermont signs along the main road. Do you realize what kind of message you are sending out to me and the other gay and lesbian residents of our community? Every time I drive by one of your hateful signs, my stomach turns in a combination of dread and fear. What you might think is a harmless political statement is actually a thinly veiled threat to those of us already threatened by violence in the larger society. That's a really good point. You know, I mean, if you look at society on a whole, I mean, hate crimes, da-da-da-da, that's a really good point to make. Here's my favorite part. What is it that you are so afraid of? How can my choice of a partner possibly affect your life? It is insane to think that it can. Your fear-based actions have no basis in reality. The reality is gays and lesbians have always been around and always will be. Society has not crumbled. People can live together in peace, even if they love differently than the majority. So, you know.
I know.
I just thought that was so well worded. I mean,
it's very well worded. And
you know, really, what are you so afraid of?
I know.
Don't
and
get
it's
it.
something I mentioned before, and when someone, I guess, was asking me about the civil union thing, you know, it's like, if you don't like it, don't have one.
Don't have one.
It's like, what's the big deal? You know, not every straight person got married either, you know.
Right. Hello. Yeah, I don't understand what, you know. It's not only that, it's just like, you know, oh, thank you, water.
There you go.
Water.
Yes.
Water. I'll shut up now while I take a little sip of water.
Oh. So yeah, that's the whole thing about it. You know, it's like, yes, it's not for everybody, but, you know, it wasn't meant to be for everybody. It's just meant to be the same opportunities for everybody.
Exactly.
Right.
And what can you possibly be afraid of? Because, like, you know, it's just, it does not affect your life.
Doesn't affect mine yet either. I still need to get a date first before I can worry about the civil union thing. So, you know, that's a long way down the road.
So true.
I know.
Listen, I have to go to New York and Boston just to get a date, so, you know.
Well, I think I might have to go along there with you to get a date, too. 'Cause
Tennessee was great for dates, by the
I
way.
bet it was. I bet it was.
Southern boys are so friendly.
I can just imagine how friendly they were. But to get on with the show.
On with the show, yes.
On with the
indeed.
show.
Yes, we do.
We're going to air this public service announcement, which we
Okay.
aired last time. We're going to air it again this time.
Let's do.
To remind you that this year you should get out and vote. That's not it.
Right to choose.
You have the right to remain silent.
You have the right to reason.
Reason number 5.
In 5 years as governor of Texas, this is what Bush had to say about AIDS.
Raise the Bar is galvanizing 2 million new gay and lesbian voters to tip the scales of this critical election.
Be one of them.
The life you save may be your own.
Raise the bar this November.
Come join the party of your life.
There you go. Register and vote. This year, more than ever, you better do it.
Don't you think? Wow, that was great.
Yes.
And tonight, you know.
Tonight we have Anthony Pollina with us, who's running as progressive
do.
for governor of Vermont. So please welcome
Yes.
Anthony Pollina.
Yay! Hello.
Hello there. Nice to meet you. Oh, that's okay.
Oh, let's clip you. You're clipped.
I'm clipped.
You are
Still
clipped.
working?
So, here we are.
Well, thanks for having me.
Oh,
I'm very
yes.
happy you're here.
I started the day at the St. Albans Rotary, so I've sort of
Really?
having my own little diversity day.
I guess so.
You
Well,
most certainly are.
things like that happen in an election year.
Rotary was fun too.
Oh, that can be fun, yeah.
It was not. It was a little different than this, but
A little different than this.
They weren't quite as dressed up as we are.
actually they were not. But look, I'm not either.
Well, you know.
The worst part about campaigning is, trousers and pinstripes.
Yeah, but you're looking fine, you're looking great. There you go, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
So how's it been going? How's your campaign going?
It's been going great.
Feeling good?
I've been having a lot of fun. It has been feeling good. I've been feeling good. I go around the state every day in this big
Yeah.
circle,
Wow.
and
Wow.
people are real friendly.
Yeah.
People are very supportive. We've got lots of people going out and helping, knocking on doors. We have teams of canvassers. We've got a group of high school students in Windham County that are knocking on doors every night, and so
Wow.
people are really getting involved. We've got a lot of work going on the campuses around the state, as well as other parts. So it's, every day when we're done, we say, haven't done anything wrong yet.
Good.
It's still going well. And we're still having fun.
Oh, that's great.
But it's really been feeling good. It really has.
That's
I'm
good.
serious.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
gosh. Yeah, it must be.
But I'll tell you, particularly after the last, we've had these debates over the last,
Right.
whatever it was last week, we had some debates. And after every one of the debates, people have come up to me wearing stickers and buttons from the other candidates in the race.
Oh, interesting.
And they've said, Mr. Pollina, I think I'm going to vote for you.
Really?
So I think once, people get to hear what the candidates really have to say firsthand.
That's cool.
A lot of people have
And to hear
definitely
which ones have nothing to say.
Well, that's part of it too. No, you're right. You're right. Somebody said to me, a reporter actually said, "So, how did you prepare for those debates?" And I said, "Well, geez, crow. I didn't know I was supposed to prepare for the debates. The way I prepared was as I was walking in the door, one of my folks with me said, Anthony, you know this stuff. Just go in there and answer the questions."
Right.
Turned out okay so far.
That's really
Yeah.
good to
That's been
hear. It really is. I know this is a really important election year on everybody's
Yep.
mind. And, you are coming into a situation that's got to be really difficult.
Yeah.
How are you... What is it that you're mostly finding around the state that people are interested in hearing about?
Well,
Hearing you say.
I think there's three things, really. I think one is healthcare and the price of drugs, and I did a lot of work over the last year with Older Women's League, the People with AIDS Coalition, the Coalition for Disability Rights, and others to try to get the state to lower the price of drugs. And people are still really worried about that, and they're concerned about the fact that a lot of us don't have health insurance.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think overall that's
Yes, we all know.
We have problems with that.
Yeah.
and a lot of people do, and that's not good.
No,
No.
it's not.
Everybody needs it. Everybody should have it. You know, you shouldn't have to go into the store and find this little jar on the counter saying, you know, someone in your town, some kid in your town has cancer or needs an
Right.
organ transplant. Would you please
Yeah.
give some spare change?
And especially for like one of the richest nations
Well,
in
yeah.
the world, and
Right.
you know, it's like,
Yeah.
And truly, and you know, like I'm listening just briefly tonight to the Al Gore, you know, Bush debate and everything, and that's the first thing out of their mouth. This is the most prosperous nation in the country. We're in a time of amazing prosperity and everything, and like, you know, we can't even go to the doctor. You know what I mean? Like, we,
right,
you know,
yeah,
like
Yeah.
save up to go to the doctor.
exactly, or like charge your charge card, like.
Well, I always
You know
use the
what I mean?
example. I say, you know, suppose you dialed 911 because there was an emergency when someone's breaking into your home and
Right.
beating you on the head, and you call 911, and the other end of the line is, oh, sorry, we're not your preferred provider. Why don't you call back tomorrow? You know,
Yeah, right.
You wouldn't want that to happen if you called the police in an
No.
emergency, but you know, you need a doctor, and you got to like look through the book and make sure there's one that's assigned to you.
To
And then
your-
maybe there-
Right.
it's just crazy. It
Well,
doesn't work.
It is.
What would you do differently, do you think? Or
Well-
where do you think you would begin with that? It's a big.
Yeah,
you know.
well, I would begin by going out and talking to people, but I would begin from to me, healthcare is a right. We all need it, we all deserve it, we all should have it, we should do what every other country in the world does, and I think Vermont can set the example. So what I would do is I would bring us together into what I call a Vermont self-insurance plan.
Huh.
Everybody buys in through their taxes. We could call it premiums if you want, but everybody who's making money is going to pay in. Every business, every individual pays in. Keep in mind, we're not going to change anything about the healthcare system, just going to change the way we pay for it. You know, a big corporation can bring hundreds of thousands of employees together into a self-insurance plan and cover them and their families. Vermont can do the same thing. And particularly when you keep in mind that most of the money that's spent in Vermont on healthcare is already public dollars. You know, federal dollars or state dollars. So we're not talking about starting from scratch. We're talking about taking that other part that people are trying to pay for out of pocket or through their employer or whatever, and saying we're going to raise that money in a more fair way and make sure everybody gets the health care they need. So everybody pays in. You know, we do it to fix the roads. We do it to pay
That's
for
true,
the
we do,
police.
don't we?
That's true.
Why don't we do it to pay for health care?
Sounds good to me.
Wow.
Hey, well, then we'll sign you right up.
Yeah. I noticed it's right here in the very opening part of your
Yes, it is.
pamphlet is healthcare. And it's like that is what's been on my mind
Yeah.
I know.
throughout this whole campaign. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, and I know, you know, even President Clinton tried to do something with that early
Yeah,
in
but-
his term, but
They got a little confused. They made it a little too complicated, and
Right.
also, you know, you got to be willing to stand. There is an industry out there that doesn't want to do this. You
That's
know,
true.
Yeah.
People who have good health care, people who are in charge, people who have power, it's very difficult to get them to change.
It is, isn't it?
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I'd spend a lot of time around the legislature as an advocate, and I always tell people, you know, I'm trying to create change, lower the price of drugs, get people health care, et cetera. And then you got all these other guys in suits that are paid a lot of money, and their only job is to keep things the same. I mean, how hard could that be?
Yeah.
I mean, keeping things the same and getting
easy
paid
choice.
right.
Yeah, exactly right.
Let's not do anything. Okay, I'll pay you for that. You know. So anyway, it's
Wow.
That's
but
insane.
It is insane. So healthcare is a big one, and the price of drugs is part of that.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite factoids that I've learned over the campaign, or not learned, but I think it says a lot about Vermont too. And over the last 10 years in Vermont, we've increased our investments in prisons by 150%.
That's right. You know, I knew that. I mean, I used to work for.
Well, you're a smart person.
Well, no, but the only reason why is because I used to work for Vermont Cares, and we had in-service trainings with people from the prison system, and I was just amazed.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
a big. It's a huge industry.
Well, it is,
anyway,
but I don't think it's one Vermont needs to get into, and that's what we're doing.
Exactly.
Largest
I mean-
high school in the state of Vermont, prison system. You know, I go to high schools and I say to kids, "What's the largest high school in the state of Vermont?" And they read, "Oh, Essex." You know, no. Well, you know, whatever, Mount Mansfield. No, it's the Vermont Department of Corrections.
Is that
It has
true?
the largest. Yeah, it is true. Of course, it's true.
Well, yeah, but like
I couldn't
just-
say
I'm
it
like,
if it wasn't true.
That's right. That's like me going, whoa. I'm always getting like really spaced out when people tell me things that are like so bizarre. That's just so bizarre to me.
I think it's bizarre. And so we spend all this money building prisons. The example is 150% increase in prisons in terms of the money we spend. Colleges, 7%. 95% of the young people in our prisons, the age 22 or under, that's young, don't have high school diplomas. 95%.
Wow.
And half of them have special education needs. So you know what the governor talked about doing? Let's cap spending for special education and let's build another prison. So it has something to do with priorities, and it kind of bugs me that we would be sort of having such wrong ones.
Wow.
Where
do they want to build another prison?
Well, they're building one in Springfield now, and by the time it's built, they just barely started. By the time it's built, we're going to need another one. So they're actually already beginning to look at another one. And, it's all about putting people in jail.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's not.
Me neither. I don't want to go there, honey.
Little prevention, little rehabilitation. We can,
little education to begin with.
A little education, a little investing in people, booming economy. A lot of people aren't doing very well. So you have to ask yourself why we're in a situation where, the governor's really proud because now the average prison term in Vermont is longer than the national average. That's what he told the Rotary Club.
That's something to be proud of?
Well, I don't know. It's not something that I would want to tout, but I guess you made a big deal about it.
Wow.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. 1 out of 7 young men in Vermont is under the supervision of the Corrections Department. 1 out of 7.
1 out of 7?
You probably know a lot of them, right?
He said you, notice. He didn't say me.
I refuse to answer that question. On the
How many of those are you
incriminate me.
responsible for?
She corrupts the morals of youth everywhere.
Well, I try.
Anyway.
Oh no, that's funny. That's really, really bizarre.
So there's things that aren't talked about enough as part of the reason why I bring that up. I think everybody, Vermont's a great place, Burlington's the best place to risk, and it's great. I mean, obviously Vermont's a great place, no doubt about it. I love it. Vermonters are great. But I think there's some things we got to talk about that we're not talking about, and why so many of our young folks are ended up in prison is one of the things that I worry about.
Ages 22?
Ages 22 and under, 95% of the one, which is where a lot of our prison population is, but 95% don't have high school diplomas.
Wow.
Which is it's a very expensive GED program we're operating there. And it's not good. So that's something that I mean, I never really thought that was something that I was going to be talking about a lot. Meaning, but the more I learned about that, and the more it's been bugging me because I think it says something about our priorities.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
And a third of Vermonters make less than $8.50 an hour.
That's another thing I wanted to talk to you about because
livable wage.
Yeah, what do you think is the solution for that? I mean, what do you do about that? I mean, I used to work, and I've worked different jobs here in town and everything, but locally owned businesses sometimes can't afford whatever. So then we've got filings or whatever coming in, I guess they can afford to pay whatever, but what does that do to our local economy? Right. So what do you think, how would you handle that?
Well, there's no easy solution. I mean, we're not going to raise the minimum wage to $10.50. We're not going to do that, although it would be nice if we could, but we're not going to do that. But what I think we need to do, and I think, what does a governor do? That's the question. What does the governor do all day, I think part of the main thing the governor's supposed to do is talk to people about things and try to move people towards, educate people and try to move them forward. And I think we need to understand that Vermont's a low-wage state, that great place to live, but when it comes to pay, we do pretty crummy compared to other states. And realize that when people don't make good, the other thing is the fastest growing occupations in Vermont are waiter and waitress and retail clerk. Now, I've been a waiter. I have nothing against being a waiter, but, lots of times those are jobs that don't pay a lot, and, they're seasonal, whatever, you don't get health care.
Right.
So I think we have to start talking to people about that and realize that when people don't make a decent wage, they rely on other things, fuel assistance, food stamps, state-funded health care. So we're all paying for that. Just like we're all paying for health care, but we're just not, in other words, if you don't have health insurance and you go to the hospital, we're all going to pay. We all pay. When people don't make decent wages, we all pay. because we're all, we're part of a community. So we need to start talking about how we take the money we spend, the resources on government assistance, and support businesses that will, let's say, provide their employees with paid family leave or help them pay for child care, sort of put support into businesses in the community that do the right thing and start moving us towards better wages. It's like a community discussion that has to happen because we're not going to do it fast. But the other thing we can do is invest in businesses and jobs that are Vermont-based and are going to stay here.
Right.
A lot of big businesses come and go, and it's not real good. A lot of them don't care a lot about Vermont or our community, whatever, our environment, whatever. They're just here to
make some money.
Make some money, use us up, chew us up, spit us out, and then move on. And I'd like us to. I think Vermont's such. I think we need to invest in Vermont in a sense. And one of the things. You seem rather urban, but I don't know. But
well, I did grow up on a farm, but been in the city ever since. And I don't plan on going back to the farm.
Oh, come on, Cherie.
Not like this. It'd be like Green Acres all over again.
Fresh air, Times Square.
That's right.
but what I find, no matter where I go in Vermont, that's all I've been going lately, is people do want to invest more in small towns again in Vermont, and farming, that kind of thing. I think people are realizing, no matter what it is, there's a lot of divisiveness in Vermont, all the civil unions thing, and everybody's feeling upset about one thing or another. And I spend a lot of time talking to these people, obviously. And I think a lot of people do feel like we're somehow losing something in Vermont, and I think it's different for different people, but I think part of it is that people feel like overall that there's something's happening to the community that is Vermont. And for a lot of folks that means that we're losing control of that feeling where Vermont was sort of more of a rural state, things are moving too fast. But I think that Vermonters are really ready to invest again in small towns, rural communities, agriculture, things of that sort. And even in Burlington, people say, oh, we got to build the Cirque Highway. Oh, it's too congested in Burlington. What are you going to do about sprawl? I say, well, I'm going to create jobs in Morrisville, so people can live and work there. We have people driving from Newport Center to Milton to go to work at this darn Husky plant that I talk about all the time. I mean, that's bad for a whole lot of reasons. I think we should have more jobs in places like Newport, Morrisville, wherever. Give people things to do in their communities, and they won't get in their car every day and drive to Burlington and create a traffic jam. So I think we need to spread the wealth around a little bit and spread the economic development around a little bit, and give people opportunities where they live. I mean, Burlington's a great place, but we don't want everybody to be coming to Burlington every day.
Work, it gets rough about 5 o'clock.
No, it does. It
does. It does, boy. The traffic around here is really rough.
But it's nice to be able to get away to some of the other towns too. And
but sometimes you go to. You travel around and. You see a lot of small towns in Vermont where things are not going real well.
That's true.
And I think it gets back to what, to me, a lot of it has to do with kids or young, whatever, what does age mean these days, right? But young people, whatever. And people kind of having hope or not having hope and, feeling like, they're going to be able to have a decent job in Vermont and they're going to be able to stay here and, get a livable wage. We have the most expensive state colleges in the country, and to me that really bugs me. Why do Vermont has to have the most expensive state? And we give them less per pupil today than we did when our current governor took office. He says that they suffered during the recession as if they made like a bad investment in some high-tech stock or something, the fact is that we just haven't given them the support they need over the years. And I think there's a lot of things we can do to sort of get people into college, if that's what they want to do. It's not for everybody, but also when they get out, give them less debt. And I think we can do some things to make our colleges more creative. I don't know if you've ever been up to Johnson State College.
I have.
There's this Dibden Auditorium.
It's
a great. I went to Johnson. Boy, that's a really nice theater. That could be like a world-class recording studio, for example, with a relatively small investment. So then, in addition to yourself, other world-famous people would come and record there and whatnot, and it would draw people, and it would draw students as well. And I think we can do things to make our colleges, they're good, but I think if we put a little into them, we could also make them even better. I had a good time with Johnson when I was there.
That's cool. I like Johnson a lot, actually.
And the theater is great.
It is there. I have to ask you a tough question, and
sure.
I mean no disrespect or anything at all, but this election year is really I don't know. It's really polarized people, as you know.
Sure.
And the gay and lesbian community, I've had a lot of people say to me that they're really afraid.
Yep.
You know. And what would you have to say to people about that? I mean, like, people, people are really afraid that Ruth Dwyer has some, momentum behind her, and they're wondering what to do about you.
Yeah. Sure.
You're right here in the middle in a really crucial election year, and like I said, I mean, no disrespect at all, but what would you have to say?
Well, I say a couple of things in no particular order, so bear with me. But number one, Ruth Dwyer's not going to win.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. She's not building momentum. She's actually well below where she was 2 years ago.
Okay.
And like I said, after the debate in Burlington, the first person that came up to me was an older woman, Ruth Dwyer stickers, and she came up to me and she said, Mr. Pollina, I'm going to vote for you, or I think I'm going to vote for you, is what she said. After the debate we had on the environment, there were a lot of people who went to that debate supporting Ruth Dwyer. And after the debate specifically said to me, we're going to support you, and we've met with them, and they're active in the campaign now. The other day I was up in Newport twice, actually. There's a woman who organized a meeting for me to meet people, and then I was up there yesterday, and we were going around visiting people in the Newport area, and she had on the back of her car a Ruth Dwyer sticker that was 2 years old, and on top of it was a Pollina sticker.
Oh, yeah.
So this idea that, like, oh, Anthony's going to take votes from Howard Dean. No, Anthony's going to get votes from whoever wants to give them to Anthony. And that's a strategy that some Democrats and other people have to make people afraid of voting for a progressive, et cetera. So I think that's part of it, is she's not going to win. If nobody gets 50% of the vote, the race goes to the legislature. The legislature is not going to elect Ruth Dwyer. If the legislature was the way it is today, and it could go through changes, obviously, some degree, she would get 15 votes maybe. And this is according to Republicans in the legislature. So there's that whole aspect of it. The other thing that I say to people is, in Vermont we've done some wonderful things, including the civil unions law. I've supported gay marriage from day one. I don't know if any of the other candidates have done that. But I've said, in Vermont we do wonderful things, civil unions, etc. In Vermont we have a conscience.
I agree.
And I think it's time that Vermonters vote their conscience. And, Governor Dean signed the civil unions bill. That's true. And you know what? If the legislature had passed some relatively crummy domestic partnership bill, you think Howard Dean would have vetoed it and said, no, I want something stronger. I want a good civil unions bill? I don't know.
That's a good question.
I appreciate the fact that he signed the bill, but I really appreciate the fact that Bill Lippert and Dick Sears and all these other folks in the legislature really did the heavy lifting to pass the bill. So you can support Howard Dean because he supported civil unions. You can ask him where he was in the debate over methadone. You could ask him why he didn't stand up to the pharmaceutical companies. People with AIDS have to go be poverty-stricken before they can get the drugs they need.
Hello.
That's not
I'm HIV positive. I know that for a fact.
So, do you want to put our kids in prison, or do you want to put them in college? If you're going to vote on that one issue, then that's fine. He signed the bill, but I think there's a lot more to it than that.
There certainly is a lot more to it than that, and that's just all that,
And I tell people,
going on,
if you go in the vote, I don't mean you personally, but I say to Vermonters, if you go in the voting booth and you vote your fears, we all lose. Because we should be beyond voting out of fear. And if you vote, what you do is you look at the candidates and you go into the booth and you vote for the one you want to win, and you vote your hopes. And I think Vermonters will be a lot better off. And I don't think people should be kind of into this feeling where it's like, I'm going to vote for you, who I don't really like, so I don't end up with you, who I don't really like. Well, you know what? I ended up with someone I didn't like either way. I'm assuming I'm not saying nobody likes these people, but I'm just saying that. Or I say, okay, when you go home tonight, get under the covers, get all snuggled up, and say to yourself, what do I get when I vote for the lesser of evils? And think about it for a while, and then wake up and decide how you want to vote. So it's not easy. I mean, I don't mean to downplay it. It's a very important emotional issue for people. And to tell you the honest truth, I go out and I talk to all kinds of Vermonters all the time, and I find people who say to me, where you stand on civil unions? I say I support it. It's good. And then we talk about they don't like it. Usually the guy doesn't like it.
Right.
Maybe the wife is fine with it,
Exactly,
which is a whole other story
Right.
that you can talk about in another show.
Exactly.
Why it is that there seems to be that breakout in this thing.
Oh, fair. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But then people, like, we talk about healthcare, we talk about why this guy's driving to New Hampshire to work construction instead of
Yeah.
working in his own town, and they
Yeah.
pick up my button and put it on their hat, and then they go and, oh, honey, let's go get a Take Back Vermont sign, you know, that kind of a thing. So all I'm saying is, I mean, I've seen it happen on more than one occasion, believe me.
I know.
But I think, honestly, I haven't, well, let me put it this way. For the last 20 years, I've been a community organizer, you know, and I've worked with all, you know, senior citizens, people with disabilities, consumers, whatever, you know, Republicans, Democrats. If Vermonters want a governor who knows how to work with people to bring them together, to deal with issues and move forward, you know, I think I can do that, and I would just encourage people to, you know, not vote out of fear.
Not vote out of
I
fear.
don't know what else
That's
to tell you.
Great.
Well, that's a
Wonderful
totally
answer.
Yeah, that's a great answer, and I'm really appreciate you, you know, responding.
Thanks. No.
I'm really excited about your Pollina
We have to
Palooza.
mention what's coming up here.
Got a little serious there for a minute.
I know. It's like on a lighter note.
This is pretty amazing. Look
Yes.
at you.
No, don't look at me. Look at that.
Look at this. It's Pollina Palooza, ladies and gentlemen. So you're like a lot of bands and
Yes,
poetry and
Yep.
Sola Turn, Dysfunction.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. James Kachaka, Superstar, is going to be
James
performing
Kachaka
also.
just got oh my God, he's a regular on our show.
Yeah.
Good.
Folk
Fantastic.
poetry,
Tassie.
yeah.
Peg Tassie's fabulous. Have you ever seen her?
No.
Oh, she's so
Velvet
good.
Oven Band.
Velvet
I don't
Oven
know if
Band.
she's still with that band or not, but
Ecus, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yep. And so you're traveling all over the place. October 11th, you're going to be at UVM in the North Lounge.
Yep.
That's on a Wednesday night. And October 18th, you'll be at Castleton.
for your
That's-
wider listening audience.
Yeah. Well, we do kind of.
No, that's good.
We do, actually.
Pass the tapes around.
We pass the tapes around. October 21st in Middlebury. That's on a Saturday. Where in Middlebury are you going to be? At Middlebury College?
Yes.
Okay. And November 2nd, you're going to be at Metronome.
Yep.
So
That'll be a lot of fun.
That will be.
Yeah.
So you'll come to that?
That
You'll be
sounds
back.
totally
You'll be
fun.
back
I'll
from
be back.
Alphabet City.
I'll be back.
So maybe we can get you in there
What day of the
somehow.
week is November 2nd?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I guess we'll have to wait till it comes
I think
closer.
it's a weekend, yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to be there at Metronome.
That's so cool.
Well, part of it
So
is
it's a party, a fundraiser, or
actually it's no
not a fundraiser.
fundraisers.
Okay,
It's
okay.
a party we pay for.
Right.
I don't raise money.
Okay.
I'm the only candidate for governor in the country who's running a fully publicly financed campaign.
Really?
I stopped raising money in June.
Wow.
And so I'm not taking any money from the pharmaceutical companies. Governor Dean took at least $10,000 this last election and $10,000 in the one before that. When he decided not to do public financing like I am this year, one of the first people he took money from was the guy that lobbied for the pharmaceutical industry. But that's okay. Don't let that cloud your decision when you vote. But
Don't let it cloud your decision, okay?
but I'm publicly financed. I got a whole bunch of Vermont voters to give me money in a short period of time, which meant I had to talk with them in their living rooms, their kitchens, wherever they were. I had to go find them and tell them who I was and what I was doing. So I don't have no money from out of state, no money from corporations, no money from special interests, and we're done raising money. It's a totally Vermont-based campaign. We have a bunch of college students canvassing in one part of the state.
Wow.
We've got a bunch of college and high school students canvassing. One of them, Devin, is the who's here in the studio as a campus coordinator. So it's really about getting people involved and not
That's great.
old people, young people. So it's a lot of hard work. But we're having a lot of fun.
That's so cool.
And that's what the Paloozas are about.
That's what the party. It's a party.
It's a party. It's a
and I
party.
think we're gonna be there.
I think we'll go.
I think we're going to go
We
to
like
the party.
parties.
We love parties. And we love those people that are performing, so we're going to
I
be there
know. I'm so
Yeah, it's going to
excited
be great.
about the lineup.
And the
That's
Poetry
terrific.
Slam. I don't know if you
Poetry
mentioned
Slam,
Poetry
yes,
Slam
yes,
as
yes,
part
yes,
of it.
yes.
So,
And Shadow Theater, actually, by
Yes.
White Plains Theater Company. Very
so we're
cool.
trying to also show people that campaigns can also be good old-fashioned fun campaigns again.
Okay.
They're not all serious.
Yahoo.
Like you folks.
Like our very serious show.
Well, thank you for being a guest on our show.
Thanks a lot. I
It's been a
appreciate it.
great
Thanks for having me.
pleasure.
It's
Wow,
great.
that
It's
was
so nice to meet you.
Anthony
Really.
Pollina.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
That was Anthony Pollina
Yes.
on our show.
Does it get any better?
I don't know.
I don't know. But we'll see now.
I think so.
Well, coming up next week, October 11th, is actually National Coming Out Day.
That's right.
And with us here in the studio, we have some people from the National Coming Out Day Committee at UVM.
Yes.
So let's
Here they
welcome them out to our
Come on
studio here.
This is
Hello.
Brad.
Hi.
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 How are you?
Good, very good.
Can you clip?
Got it?
You clipped. Here we go. Wow.
Okay,
Well,
so
here we are.
I know. And
This
I
is
forgot Diane.
Right.
Okay.
Diane is the new coordinator for LGBTQNA services at UVM. Yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations on it. Wonderful.
That is great.
Just
And
in
I'm sorry,
time
your
for
name
this
again?
big
I'm
festival.
sorry. Sarah, and this is Sarah, everyone. Sarah over
Okay.
here.
There you go.
And you're helping on the committee, right?
Yes, I'm a graduate student.
You're one of the
so-
graduates, okay.
Not only that, she's performing
You are?
during National
Okay.
Coming Out Day.
Really?
So
Sarah.
So when do the
Singer-songwriter?
festivities
Singer-songwriter,
start?
yes. The festivities start on October 11th at noon on the steps of the Bailey Howe Library at UVM. We're having a speak out for a couple hours out there. Anyone is welcome to come and show their support for the LGBT community, as well as it being Blue Jean Day. So everybody wear your blue jeans to show your support as well.
that's right.
And then that evening, actually, in the Christy Wright Patterson Rotunda on the Redstone campus, is we have a poetry slam going on with Alex Olson, who has been to UVM a few times.
Yes.
Wonderful New Yorkian poet.
Yes.
And also the Wasted Motel Tour, which is a section of 5 performers that are from California who do slam poetry as well.
Oh, great.
And they're going under the Wasted Motel Tour, Baby Poets, Tired Old Whores, and Delinquent Divas. So,
Not
should
to
be
be
a
messed.
wonderful, wonderful
Sounds
time.
wonderful.
And that's at 8
That does
o'clock.
sound wonderful.
Yeah.
That
We
is
should be in
great.
that group, I think.
Wasted. What was it? Wasted Horse?
The Wasted Motel Tour. Wasted Whores. I don't think they'd like that.
Dented Divas.
Demented? I don't know.
Demented.
Something like that.
Something like that. Oh my God. That
So
sounds
what
like a lot
else
of
is
fun.
happening on campus besides?
So that was the 11th?
That was
That's
the
the
11th.
11th.
That's all on the
Yeah.
11th. Okay.
Wow.
In direct
And-
competition with the
Unfortunately.
right.
Oh, wow.
I didn't realize the
Too much
political
to
lead.
do. That's
It's
a
a
lot
big
to
night,
do
big
that
day.
Yeah.
We have a phone call.
Oh my gosh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, girls. It's Kenny.
Hi, Kenny.
How you doing?
Good.
You girls look so fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Cherie, beautiful. And Yolanda, you look groovy.
I look groovy.
Yes. I'm sorry I couldn't call, but the phone number wasn't up.
Oh.
I didn't remember the phone number.
Oh, yes, I
It's
forgot.
up there
to-
now.
But I'm
Yeah,
glad
it is.
you asked.
Yeah.
Yes, we just were you watching?
Yes?
Oh, good.
Yes,
So
I
you
got
got
home
your
in time.
question. You got your question answered.
Yes.
Very good. Very
Yes, and
good.
it was a very good answer.
Yes, it
Okay.
was. Yes. Kenny was concerned, and Mr. Pollina graciously answered that question. So very good.
Great.
I'm glad you called.
So is there going to be a party for coming out there?
Yes, that's what we're talking about right now.
Yeah,
We're
there's a lot
gonna
Lots of parties.
talk all about it.
Okay.
Are
So
we spinning again?
sorry.
Are we spinning again?
I don't know. You'll have to ask the committee. I don't know. This
Well,
is
we did it
pretty
last
fun.
year, but we weren't
Oh.
asked this year.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to take
We'll
it up.
find out.
We'll find out for you.
Stay tuned.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Paul says hello. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there is going to be a party, a dance, like at the very end of
the
National
week,
Coming
right?
Out Week
Yeah.
on the 21st on a Saturday night, and it's a joint venture between us and RU12
great.
to support RU12 Community Center, and they're organizing it. So I'm not sure who's spinning for that, but it's going to be at the King Street Youth Center. It's a contra dance.
Oh,
So
that's
it's gonna be something
great.
kinda different.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I actually heard about the contra dance.
So that's going to be the end of the week. We have a lot of stuff during the week, and I brought a cheat sheet because there's a lot
bunch
going
of
on.
stuff.
It's on the back page of Out in the Mountains, so everybody can see it. But I'm going to talk first about sort of one of our headliners, Anthony Rapp.
Okay.
Who Anthony Rapp was, for you who don't know, was in the original cast of Rent, and he's on the soundtrack. He was in the recent award-winning revival of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. He's an
Love that
amazing
show.
performer. He's been in a lot of movies. He was in Road Trip this summer. A lot of people saw that. It was a big hit. So he's doing a concert on the 19th. It's a Thursday night at 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock. Ira Allen Chapel on campus, free concert.
Wow.
In fact, everything's free for National Coming Out Week. So we're real excited about him.
That's
really
terrific.
cool.
And he's also doing a little discussion the next day at the Women's Center as part of a brown bag lunch series that we're doing. So he's doing a couple of things for us.
Okay.
That's terrific.
We do have another phone call.
Let's see if, hello?
Hello.
Hello.
This is Alex.
Alex!
Hello, Alex.
I just got cable.
And what's the
Good
first
girl.
thing you turned on?
I've never called a TV station before.
Never.
No.
Well, you
Hi,
picked
Sarah.
the best show to call.
How are you doing? I miss you.
Oh.
Not you. I'm talking to you, Yolanda.
You're talking
Oh, me!
Wait a minute
I
here.
thought you were talking to Sarah. I was like,
Somebody's missing me.
intrigue. Romance and intrigue. Oh, I'm fine, thank you. I'm just a little sick, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm still recovering
It's as
too.
usual. Well, I'm so glad you called. Do you have a
Yeah.
question for our coming out committee here?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not doing anything.
Oh.
I'm still sick, you know.
Oh, you're
okay.
still sick yourself.
Everybody's
Oh, okay.
sick.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Congratulations on the New York gig.
Well, thank you. Thanks so much.
When are we gonna play again?
Huh?
When are we going to play again?
I don't know. I'll call you. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye, Alex.
Bye, Alex.
Oh, that was nice.
So anyway, we're October
So-
11th and October 19th is Anthony Rapp.
Right, and then in
Okay.
between, well, I'll let Diane say
All right.
some stuff.
Yes.
She's
Well, all week at noon at the Women's Center, we have brown bag lunch events, and they go for about an hour.
Nice.
And we have Bill Tickner, who is one of our UVM students, who did a road trip across the country last year to find out about and to promote Freedom to Marry. So he's going to talk about that experience.
Great.
And may I borrow the cheat sheet?
there's so much. There's just so much.
Yeah,
There really is.
we have a book discussion and a book signing by two authors who are staff at UVM, Annie Stevens and Kim Howard. They wrote a book called Out on Campus. Out and about. Right, exactly. It's right here. I could have read it correctly if I wanted to, but I chose not to.
I have the same problem.
Right. And then we're doing a movie screening and a discussion with an excerpt from If These Walls Could Talk Too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, they're going to do the 1971 excerpts. They're going to talk about that. So there's something going on every day at noon.
At noon. And
Yes.
where? In the same location?
Yes, in the Women's Center.
At the Women's Center,
Right,
okay.
so you know that 12 o'clock all that week there's something to do. And then we have two really important panels. I think we have some religious leaders from Burlington talking about how they promote civil unions and how they're how that has worked out for them from their different denominations and the people that worship with
great.
them.
Wow.
And then we have a political panel of gay and lesbian politicians.
Really?
Yes, we're going to come and talk about what it means to be out and how that's affected their careers as politicians.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, and
That's part of the noon series?
no,
I'm
those
sorry.
are those are evening things. We have something every evening and something every day at
Every
noon. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That is,
Well,
that's
and-
It's great.
And
people
one
are-
more event that, well, actually two more events. We have on Wednesday night that week, a group of resident assistants from UVM are going to talk about being allies to the LGBT community. It's called
Oh,
Straight
good.
But Not Narrow.
That's
And-
good to hear.
And then following that is will be Yolanda and Sarah, among others, in the annual UVM National Coming Out Week Coffee House.
So, Alex, put that down on the 17th. Can you play drums with me?
There you go. So come on down, Alex.
That's the answer to your question.
Right.
To find out everything that's going on, pick up a copy of Out in the Mountains, which has the whole thing on their back cover. There you go.
There we go.
Everything's
Right.
listed.
And there's a website on the cover there, so
There
or
it
on
is,
the
that's
ad
good.
there, and has directions, all of that on the website. So
Very cool.
Great. Well,
Let's
thank-
see if we still,
have
if
a
the phone
phone call?
caller's still there. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you guys doing?
I'm good.
Hey, Cherie Tartt, it's Alyssa. Remember from Pearls when I
Yeah.
met you up there? How you doing, girl?
Good. My goodness. You
How
tracked
you
me
been?
You tracked me down.
Hmm?
down. I'm doing good.
That's great. How you doing, Yolanda? I've never met you before, but
oh.
my mom knows you.
Really?
Steve Corwell? You know her?
Yeah.
You remember my mom?
I do. That's so cool.
Yes.
I'm so glad you called.
Yes, I have to ask a question.
Okay.
I would absolutely die if I could be on your show because I've realized my own bisexuality.
Wow.
And I've accepted it. My friends, that are all gay and bisexual, they're all like, cool, welcome to the family, And, I've almost been beaten down because of a hate crime because of it, which is really scary.
Yeah.
And people, down on me, they yell at me and stuff about it and everything, they give me a lot of hard grief, except for my friends, that go up to Pearls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I would absolutely love to be on your show sometime to speak out why it's so important that we should really express ourselves.
Absolutely.
And just to show people how important it is not to be scared and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way I could be on the show sometime?
Yeah, we'll certainly have to talk about that. We'll, if you can call later at the end of the show, and we'll sort of talk about what what our schedule is and everything. But you're doing a great job of it right now. I mean, it's awesome that you're.
I've got more to say when I get on the show.
Sure, yeah. And
we have to
please,
speak out.
Come to the speak
please
out, definitely.
Speak out.
Right.
Yes. Did you hear about the coming out week that they've been talking about and everything?
Oh, yes.
That's a great place to get support and everything for
I
what
would love
you're
to be on
going
the
through.
show because I know a lot of my friends are watching everything.
Absolutely.
You guys know Michael Hughes?
Sorry?
You guys know Michael Hughes? Mikey? He plays the guitar?
I'm not sure. Probably.
Oh, I thought he was on the show one time. He told me he was going to be on the show.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm not. Oh, Michael Hughes. Yeah, I do remember. Right, exactly. Yeah,
He's my
Mikey.
best friend.
Oh, great. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
he's so cool.
Yeah.
I know Zeno. Zeno's awesome. I talked to her the other day. She's like, oh my God, how are you? I'm like, good. And yes, I'm just so glad to talk to you guys and everything.
Thanks so much for calling. And really, you know what? Come to the Speak Out. That'll be really, really great. That's
October 11th
right.
at noon.
At noon.
Okay.
Bailey Howell Library.
Where's it going to be at?
At Bailey Howell Library at UVM.
Okay.
Then you can really, you can address the public and really talk about what's on your heart.
I'll talk to you guys later after the show is done and everything, okay?
Great.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thanks
See you
for
later,
calling.
Cherie Tartt. See you later, Yolanda.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, so, the Speak Out is open to the public, right?
Oh, everyone.
So everyone can
Everything
come
is
and
open to the
talk.
public and completely free.
That is so cool.
I guess we'll have to be there too.
I guess
Yes.
we will. We have to
It's
be everywhere.
free. It's free. We're running out of time, folks. But we've had a great time
We
with
certainly
Anthony
have.
Pollina here and with all you people from UVM.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming.
It's great for us.
Why don't we bring Anthony out here? Come on,
Come
we're just about to go
on
off the air. Come on, we're going to say goodbye to everybody. Thanks everyone for watching. We had a great show.
Come on over.
Come on over. Right next to me. Oh my goodness. Right between
Oh, you know what?
There
You know
we go.
what?
What?
It's Michael Horn's birthday.
Oh.
In
Come
2
here,
days.
Mikey.
Oh my
Come
goodness.
here.
Okay.
Come here, Mikey.
We're running out of time.
Hurry,
You better-
quick.
Quick, Yolanda, grab him.
Grab him.
Grab him, Yolanda. You deserve that. You deserve that. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for another Cherie and Yolanda show.
Next time.
Next time. Same channel, same station.